Hey everybody, so I'm about to do Bible study. God said to bring y'all along, and I'm in my obedience season, so let's do it. I'm doing Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman, and also the beginning part. So I'm using the Amplified version just because it breaks things down a little bit better. So let's talk about it. So pretty much she's saying, son of my wound. Pretty much, hey son, come here. So this is really pretty much a king who wrote down the things that his mom told him about life. So they're pretty much life lessons. So she's telling him, don't give your general strength to women, neither foreign wives in marriage of alliances, nor concubines. So pretty much back in the day, in this time period, it was a common custom for men to take women of different countries, marry them as a sign of, I have an alliance with you. Now, mind you, if they're coming from a different culture, they don't have the same religion majority of the time. And that has been a downfall for people in the Bible. Solomon, for example, one of the wisest men, but the women ended up being his downfall. So y'all men, watch out there. Okay. So she also says that it is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to desire strong drinks. And she's saying that if you do, then you may forget the law and its decrees. You may end up doing something perverted for somebody's rights. You may end up not being able to remember what's going on, where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. She's like, save those strong drinks for those who are sick, for those who about to die, for even those that's super poor and just having just horrible time. Let them do that. You are a man of a certain caliber, and you have to be pretty much vigilant at all times. You got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're saying. Like, you can't just be out here wilding out and you're supposed to be the ruler. Like, what you doing? Okay? So pretty much that's the beginning part. Okay? All right. So then she goes into the part of saying to make sure you judge righteously, do right for the poor, which we should all do in general. We may not be judging as far as like a king would do, but make sure when you see that person that's homeless on the corner, should you really be judging them? You know, if you can help. Regardless, if they're going to do what's wrong with it, they're going to have to give account of that with God, not you. But to help when you can. Give away all things to a shelter. Do certain things where, you know, you're doing right for the poor, at least in our day and age. All right. So now the part where everybody knows. The virtuous woman. Okay. An excellent woman. Who he can find her. So pretty much it breaks it down in this version, the Amplified version, saying one who's spiritual, capable, intelligent, and virtuous. And y'all can say, okay, I'm spiritual. I read my Bible. I go to church, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you're living what you're learning. All right. And then I'm capable. I can do this. I can do that. All right. Okay. One who's intelligent. You know, that's smart. That tries to keep up with, keep their mind sharp. All right. And one who is virtuous. So virtuous is more about your character. Are you genuine? Are you doing people right? Are you, even when people do you wrong, you pray for them. You're like, God got my vengeance. I'm not going to worry about you. I'm not going to sit here and act all crazy, stupid, this, and that, just because you mad. No, I'm virtuous. I don't get down like that. I'm going to pray my way through. I'm going to act right towards people. My character is everything. There's been times when people have lied on me. And because I try to carry myself in a certain manner, no matter what, they knew that the person was lying. They was like, that ain't her. They lying. That ain't true. And that's what I'm saying. So carry yourself in a certain way makes it so that, you can get through certain tough seasons and get through with, normally, a lot of times, good people, you'll find other genuine good people as well. And, God gives you favor for that. Okay. Her value is more precious than jewels, and her worth is far above rubies and pearls. So pretty much his mom's like, look, don't worry about these concubines. Don't worry about, well, pretty much, by the way, concubines is pretty much the Bible's version of like your side piece or whatever you want to call it. So she's like, don't give all that. Find you a good, virtuous woman, because her value is unmatched. Like nobody else is gonna be like that. Find somebody like that, and let me tell you why. Let me tell you what to look for. And that's where she goes. The heart of her husband trusts in her. And it says with secure confidence. So like he know he can trust her. He ain't worried. He ain't worried about what nobody's saying. He like, look, I know my wife. I know she good. I have confidence in her. I trust her. She's a great woman. I'm not stressing about that. Okay. And he will have no lack of gain. Meaning it is his favor. God, a wife carries the man's favor, biblically speaking. It makes sure that, us as women, we just kind of bring everything together. Whatever's brought to us, we grow it. We nourish it. We make sure that, everything's taken care of. So the man won't have any lack of anything, because you will bring him favor with the Lord. You will bring him so much good for his life. It says, she comforts, encourages, and does him only good and not evil all the days of her life. All right now. So what that means, pretty much, she gonna be that rider for him. She gonna make sure that she's, pouring into him. She's gonna make sure she comforts him. He's gonna be, when he come home, that's gonna be his safe space, because she's gonna make it into a space where everything's nice, everything's great, where she can do as much as she can to really put forth that effort that's needed so that he can feel at home, safe, at peace. So he's not coming home, feeling more stressed out, not wanting to come home, etc., etc. Okay? And not bring any evil all the days of her life. So ain't no scamming going on. Ain't nothing crazy going on. It's like, look, I'm genuine. You need to be genuine. You ain't got to stress about it. It says, she looks for wool and flax, and all the works are willing with her hands in delight. So pretty much, she is getting stuff. She's sewing. She making stuff. Like, she like, okay. And I'm happy about it. Like, I'm happy that I got stuff I can do. I'm happy that I can make stuff for my husband and my family. Like, all right, we good. Like, I'm not stressed about that. She is like a merchant ship. And it says abiding with treasure. So pretty much when she comes in a room, when she comes to a conversation, when her friends call her, she brings the treasure of the glory of God that's in her wherever she goes. She coming in with all of the glory just coming out, this light around her wherever she goes. She brings her household food from afar. All right now, ladies. Pretty much she prepared, okay? So we either going to get groceries. Okay, we going to make sure he eat, all right? I don't care if you got to pick some up, bring it back home. You going to make sure the man eat, okay? We going to make sure he eat. And the children. I'm just saying. We can do that, right? Most of the time. All right. She rises, also while it's still night, and gives food to her household, and assigns tasks to her maids. Okay. So we getting up early. We cooking breakfast. It's like, okay. And you got to still think about the time, too. Because in that time, even in my grandma's time, like, my mom, she going to see my dad out early in the morning. My grandma, my great-grandma, she had woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning to cook him breakfast. Like, she was like, oh, no, you going to eat before you ain't leaving here hungry. And I got your lunch pack, too. There you go. So, all right, that's the virtuous they're talking about, okay? And she gives signs to her maids. So then they had a lot of maids. She already said, okay, this is what I need you to do today to help me. So remember that, ladies. She didn't do it all by herself. She had a little help. So it's all right to get a little help. And also remember, too, she probably rested some, too. Now, it says she stayed up early. Got up early, stayed up late. But regardless of the fact, it's still okay to rest. It's all right for you to be able to still rest. God rest. But just make sure you're not to the point where you just have, well, we'll talk about that because that's coming up too. Being idle with your time. She considers a field before she buys it. She accepts it. Expanding her business is what it's saying. So pretty much she's not impulsive. She goes, she thinks about things, she makes strategies about things of where can I do for my business? What can I do to help bring in things so that I can help my family with money? What can I do? Okay. She equips herself with strength. And it says with strength, spiritual, mental, physical fitness for her God-given task. So she took care of her temple. Her temple all the way. So yeah, she in the gym. Yep, we in the gym, all right, okay. She took care of her mental, whether that be she got to go to therapy. Hey, I'm going to make sure I ain't got no baggage coming with me. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to do whatever I got to do. And her spiritual. I'm going to get up early in the morning when I wake up every morning at 3 o'clock, and I'm going to pray. I'm going to go in my prayer closet. I'm going to go in my prayer corner, wherever you got. I'm going to sit in bed and pray and go in the bathroom and pray. Whatever you have to do, to take care of your spiritual growth, joining a church, doing whatever you have to do, spend your time with God. And preferably early in the morning before you start your day. Because honestly, if there's times, when you aren't spending time with God, a lot of times you'll feel different. You'll say, like, something feel off with me. Something ain't feeling right today. Like, oh, I ain't spent time with God. I ain't talked to him. I ain't did this. He ain't talked to me. I ain't did, He wants to see that you're trying to get to know him. So lay at his feet. Be there. Do the things that you can do to try to get to know him. And he'll show you who he is. Always. Just ask. All right. It says, she makes her arm strong. So, hey, go ahead and do that workout. She sees that her gain is good. So pretty much, ladies, she knows her worth. She know what she about. She know who she is. She like, look, I'm a good woman. I know that. I don't have to brag about it. I don't have to tell you about it, but I know who I am and I know whose I am. All right. Her lamp does not go out, but it burns continuously through the night. It says she's prepared for whatever lies ahead. So pretty much it's like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm prepared for whatever may happen. I got this here. I got that here. I'm always been a prepared person. So that's just, in case this happens, I ain't getting to sleep. Well, like nobody can say, hey, such and such happened. Or I don't hear my kids somewhere out jumping around or, whatever. She's like, I'm prepared. I got what I need. I'm asleep. But best to believe if something pull up, something happen, I'm ready for it. Okay, and then it talks about how her hands stretch out and they hold the spindle. So pretty much she making clothes too, y'all. She got her sewing machine. She making her clothes, y'all. She reaching out her field hands for the needy. So she helping them out too. They need something. It says she does not fear the snow for her household. For all of her household are clothed in expensive scarlet wool. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that my family looks nice. I'm going to keep my kids looking nice. I don't know about y'all, but I had a grandma that said, you better have you some lipstick or something in your earrings on wherever you go. Okay, I'm going to make sure my kids look presentable, even if I have to make it myself. Okay, because back then, you made your own stuff. Now if you want to, if you can make it, go ahead. But if not, hey, I'm going to go make sure my kids got clothes. because I got businesses, right? She got her own businesses. She making sure I spend my money on my children, make sure my children have what they need, instead of I'm gonna neglect my kids and I'm just gonna spend it on me and make sure my nails done and my hair done, but my kids' hair looking crazy. We ain't doing that. That's not a Proverbs woman. I'm sorry. That's not virtuous. So that's pretty much what that's saying. She even made covers, rugs, tapestries. Honey, she had it all. She was doing it all. Okay. Her clothing is linen, pure and fine, and purple. So pretty much, she has herself together with her appearance. She ain't going out with no bonnet on. She ain't going out looking a mess. She's gonna look presentable no matter where she goes. I'm not saying you gotta do the whole beat down face. I'm just saying, look presentable, because you never know who you may meet. You never know who you may end up, coming in contact with. You never know. The president might be outside, and you may have another person you can connect with your business. Your husband may be out there, girl. We don't know, but try to look presentable. That's all they're saying. Her husband is known in the city gates when he sits among the elders of the land. So pretty much, all right, we've been proverb women. Women, find yourself a good man. Okay, because he held power. He had a job that he needed to do. He made sure that no matter what, that he's there, that he's doing the things he needs to do to take care of her as well. He's making sure that he's nice to her. All of the other biblical things that are in, and we'll have to do a video on that later about, what it says for men to be as well, because it's still a lot on that, y'all. Don't think it's just submit to you. We ain't just submitting. You submitting to, and we submitting under God. Okay? So it's just making sure that you have someone as well that's going to be genuine, that's going to have great character, because those are the things that are going to matter in the long run, not just, oh, she's pretty, oh, this, oh, that, because that's fleeting. And that can change at any time. But who she is going to get you through. Who he is going to get you through those tough times. That's what's going to help you get through the times, because it's not always peaches and cream and happy-go-lucky with marriage. There's going to be times where things are going to get down and hard, and you're going to have have somebody that you can depend on, somebody that you can trust, someone that hey, I can talk to you. You ain't finna just be arguing and acting all crazy. You ain't gonna hurt me. You ain't gonna do this. You ain't gonna do that. Let's be an adult and have a conversation and talk about whatever's going on. Let's make sure that we're committed to each other, So we'll be together. I had my grandparents before my grandma died, my granddad died. They had been married for 69 years. I think she told me together probably 70, 71 years. So that's a long, that's a long time to be with somebody. So you had to be, and she told me some secrets. I have to do a video on that too, but she definitely, and he definitely were committed to each other. Every day they got up committed. And even when because my grandma died first, when she died, my granddad was still committed to her. He would still say, oh, sweet Nora Mary. Oh, this, that. She's the love of my life. All of these things, even when she was gone. And he was ready to go be with her. And luckily he is now. But, at the end of the day, it's find you somebody that's going to be committed like you are. Find you somebody that you're going to have the same goals. In order to be sub to their mission, make sure their vision is the same as yours and what you need and what you want. You understand? Okay, where were we? It says she makes linen garments and sells them. So her business. All right, we got that. And supplies to the merchants, sashes. So not only is she going and doing her own business, she's charitable too. She has a charitable part of her business where she says, I'm going to make these, but I'm going to give these away too. I'm going to make sure I give to the needy. I'm going to make sure I give to the businessmen, because that's going to look good, not only for my business, for my husband, for our household. Everything ain't always about money. Sometimes certain things people can say are about being a good person. Sometimes things are about making good connections. But, you just have to be really smart about it and wise and have good discernment. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and her position is strong and secure. So she ain't stressing. She know who she is. She know what she doing. She know who her husband is. She like, what am I stressed out for? What am I worried about? Like, God got it. He got me. God got me. We ain't got to stress about it. Like, things are going to work itself out because everything's going to work together for the good for those who love Christ. Like, it's going to work out. It will. Trust me. She smiles at the future, knowing that she and her family are prepared. So she laughs without fear of the future, the other version says. So she ain't tripping. She like, we got it together. I'm extra prepared. We can do as much as we can, and what I'm not prepared for, God will help me to make sure that I know that I'll have whatever I need when the time is right. All right, now, ladies, this is the thing. She opens her mouth in skillful and godly wisdom. Just soak that in for a second. She ain't just out here talking crazy. She ain't out here cussing people out. She thinking before she speaks. She asking the Holy Spirit to give her discernment through the day. She's, they may call her, hey, I need some wisdom, blah, blah, blah. She may say, okay, friend, hold on. Let me pray about it. Let me fast about it. I'll get back to you. She's asking the Lord and using godly wisdom for what she's speaking out loud. So when you get mad next time, just don't say nothing for a second. I was always taught they can't argue by themselves. Sometimes you have to be content in your position of who you are, even when others don't even see who you are. That's not what matters. It's that you know who you are and that God validates that. And that's all you need. But watch that tongue. Just watch your mouth, ladies. It's hard, but watch it. Okay. She looks well to how things go into her household. So pretty much her husband, everybody knows like she's doing good things. Everyone can see the fruits of her spirit. People that are around her, people that know her. People aren't sitting there and say, oh, that's that lady, don't take care of her kids. They be running around everywhere, That's that woman, she'll never be there for her kids. She just drop them off at her grandma's house. That's this. Mm-mm. They can't say nothing. Because what can you say? You can try to make up something. But what can you say to a woman that is taking care of her business, that's doing what she's doing? She's hydrated. She minding her business. She doing all this gym stuff. She doing everything that she can and really, really trying. And pretty much it comes down to getting the strength of the Holy Spirit. Asking God for help because you can't do everything on your own, but you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You can. Yes, you can. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. It says, she does not eat the bread of idleness. Okay. We ain't just chilling to be chilling and ain't doing nothing when you got a million things to do. You might got 30 bazillion things to do. Rested a little bit, and then you like, you know what? I ain't doing it. I'm going to sit here and scroll on TikTok for 5 hours. No. Mm-mm. Because you got things that you need to accomplish and do. You have to walk in your purpose so you can walk in your destiny. Okay? Her children rise up and call her blessed. And it says happy. They call her happy. They call her prosperous. And she's to be admired. So that means her kids are like, I have the best. My mom is great. She's always there. She's always so nice and kind to me. She may don't play, but she gives me everything that I need and more. She constantly pours into me. She's a blessed woman. She's a great woman. I can think of people that I can say, my grandma, for example, straight Proverbs 31. She was blessed. She was highly favored. She did all the things that she could do. Like, they speak kind, wise of her. Everyone thinks of her and thinks, oh my gosh, that was a woman of faith. That was a woman of God. She does forgiveness. This, that. Like, your character, again, means everything. Because that is who you are, and that shows that you have Christ in you. It shows that you have the Holy Spirit in you. It shows that you are a vessel for God to use to help other people. Okay, let's see. It also says her husband also. So her husband also calls her happy, prosperous, and admired. And he praises her, saying, many daughters have done nobly and well. And it says, with strength of their character, that is steadfast in goodness. But you excel them all. So it's saying there are some good women. There's some good women, but ain't no woman like my woman. Ain't no woman like my woman. I know been out here. I know been searching. I know been looking. But I ain't seen nobody else like her. Like, I just can't find it. Maybe because there is nobody else. Maybe that's the virtuous woman. Like, maybe that's your virtuous woman, whoever. But at the end of the day, her husband's going to say, my wife got it. I take care of her. She take care of me. We good. She take care of my kids. I'm not saying he don't chip in. I'm not saying he don't help. But I'm saying he sees her in a light of greatness, in a light of love, in a light of, I'm so happy that I chose this woman to be my wife. All right. Charm and grace are deceptive. Okay. Because sometimes people can charm you out of some things, and that ain't necessarily who they are. People can give you grace and that not necessarily be who they are all the time. That's why you have to sit and watch people, look through things, look and see how people treat others, because that's one reason of how you can kind of tell people character as well. Because if somebody goes around and they treating their mama wrong or their daddy wrong, and they say that he just crazy. They treating this person wrong. They treating that person wrong. And you like, well, she was nice to me, but he was nice to me. He never did me like that. Maybe it's just, no, honey. It's going to eventually come back around. And she going to do you like that too. He going to do you like that too. So watch out for how they are, how they're acting all the time to everyone. Yes, we may have a day, that period about to come on, we PMSing, but we ain't finna go around and just do certain things to certain people that shows that our character is completely just trash. We ain't doing that. No, thank you. It says, charm and grace are deceptive and superficial. Beauty is vain. But a woman who fears the Lord. Now let's talk about fearing the Lord, because when I first started reading the Bible and everything, I keep saying, fear the Lord, fear the Lord. I'm like, I'm supposed to be afraid of the Lord? No. So fear the Lord means to respect him. And in this version, it says, you're worshiping, you're obeying, you're serving, you're trusting in the Lord, and you are filled with respect for him. So that's what fearing the Lord means. And it says, she shall be praised because of what she does for God, because of her faith, because of the things that she does, because she knows who her maker is, because she knows who she is in God. Okay. And it says, give her of the product of her hands, and let her own works be praised in the city, in the gates. So pretty much it's saying, whatever she takes in, she's going to better it. She's going to grow it. And she will get praised for it. So pretty much, and that's the end of that Proverbs 31. But pretty much it's saying, hey, a good woman is going to take whatever she can and help it to grow, help it to be better, help it to be the best that it can be. Because as women, that's what we do. It's the reason why we are supposed to be a helpmeet. We're supposed to help, our husbands, or people or whoever, their purpose.